Good morning to all. Welcome to e-learning class. This is M. Visalakshi and Professor R. Sudha, Assistant Professor, Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering in Tandai Periyar Government Institute of Technology. In this video, we are going to see about the circuit breakers and its types. So in previous lecture, we saw about the introduction of circuit breaker and some types of circuit breakers. So it's a continuation of this. So here we are going to see vacuum circuit breaker. So this vacuum circuit breaker is used as an arc quenching medium, and also it is an highest insulating strength. If we consider the contact of circuit breakers, when it is open in vacuum, the interruption may occur at first current will be 0. So the dielectric of the contact space will have a higher than that of the other circuit breakers. So when the contact of the circuit breakers are opened, the arc produced between the contact of a metal vapor, which can be this process explained using the field emission theory. So this is a circuit diagram of vacuum circuit breaker, which consists of an insulating vessel, fixed member and movable member, main arc shield, arc ranging contacts. These are the parts present in vacuum breaker. So here the vacuum switching device have several high rate of rise of dielectric strength, silent operation, suitability for repeated operations. These are some of the thing present in vacuum circuit breaker. So here the pressure below the mercury are considered to be high vacuum. So if a small gap is kept between the electrode in vacuum, the voltage will be increased. So at a certain voltage, the gap breakdowns and current increases. So this is your vacuum breakdown with pressure remaining constant. So the characteristics are mainly by the surface, condition and material of the electrodes. So apart from this, the main representation and detail of the vacuum circuit breaker, see, as I told already, it consists of an fixed contact, moving contact, arc shield or mounted and movable member, so which is presented here. So this is your movable member. So here this will be connected to the control mechanism by a stainless steel bellows, which is presented here. This is my bellows. So this will permit the sealed construction of the interrupter. So they are covered by the protective shield. Okay, so this is your protective shield. The contacts made with the large disc shaped faces. So this will be a symmetrical grooves, so that the segment of two contacts will not same along the line. So this facility or of an arc, instead of remaining stable at one point, this will be diffused state. So it will not remain in same state. So the capability is to retain high vacuum. The arc shield. So here this is my arc shield. Both the sides, this is your arc shield. So or vapor shield. It is called a arc shield or a vapor shield. Will be supported on insulating such that they can cover the contact region. So this will cover the contact region. So the metal vapor released from the contact surface during arcing will be condensed on this shield, and it is prevented from the insulating enclosures. So if there is a possibility of leak, this will be eliminated due to the sealing of the vacuum chamber. So outer insulator is mainly made of glass or ceramics. So outer will be made of glass or ceramics. Okay, so how it works? So this is your working of the vacuum circuit breaker when this contacts. So this contacts are separated due to some condition. The arc will be stuck between the conductor. So this is your arcing range. So this will stuck between the contacts. So this the arc produced will be due to the ionization of metal ions and mainly depends on the material of contact using. So what material we are using, it is based on the it will be ionized. So the arc interruption process in vacuum interrupt will be different from other type of circuit breakers. So this separation of contact release the vapor which is filled in contact space. So it contains positive ions liberated from the contact material. Mainly depends on the current in the arc. So when current decreases, the rate of the vapor release will be decrease. So current decrease, the vapor release decreases. After that, the current will be 0. So the medium regains the dielectric strength if the vapor density is decreased. So when the current to be interrupted is small in vacuum, the arc will have several parallel paths. Okay, several parallel paths. So the total current will be divided into many parallel arcs which will ripple and spread over the contact surface. So this is called as an diffused arc. So at a high value of current, the arc gets concentrated on a small region. So the interruption of arc is possible only it is diffused status remains same. So it will be removed from the contact surface and the arc will be restricted. So after final arc interruption, the dielectric strength which will be peculiar in circuit breaker, that is vacuum circuit breaker. So this is mainly suitable for the capacitor switching, and the small current are interrupted before the natural current 0. So coming to the chopping levels, the vapor pressure of the cathode material will increase the vapor pressure. So the chopping level will be lower. And the thermal conductivity. If thermal conductivity is low, the chopping will also be low. So this is your working and construction of your vacuum circuit breaker, and some advantage and disadvantages also there in vacuum circuit breaker. Means it is compact in size and have longer life, and no fire hazards, no generation of gas during and after operation, no restrictions on interruption of fault current, and also they require less maintenance and quiet in operation, low arc energy and have low inertia, and small power is required for the contact mechanism. And coming to the disadvantages, the main possibility of problem occurring in this type is erosion of material from electrodes and evolution of gases from the electrode during the arcing. So the gases are liberated from the electrode material due to the evaluation of gases from metal evaporated by anode and cathode, and surface exposed to the radiation from the arc, so that the gases are released. The gases are also released from the inactive portion of the electrode due to the heat conduction. So, and also it should be considered that the electrodes should not weld with each other, and dielectric strength of the gap must be recovered rapidly. So these are the some disadvantages of vacuum circuit breaker. Coming to the application, mainly outdoor installation ranging from 22 kV to 66 kV, and limiting ranges are 60 to 100 megawatt volt, and the insulating capacity of this type of circuit breaker may be 11 kV, 25 and 33, and it is also applicable up to 36 with single interrupt for the metal enclosed switchgear and arc furnace installation. Next is minimum oil circuit breaker. also called as MCB or MOCB, which is placing the interrupting unit in insulating chamber at live portion. Designing a minimum oil circuit breaker is to reduce the requirement of oil. So here in volume of the oil in this type of circuit breaker, may the chance of hazard in oil system will be more. So this is the image of minimum oil circuit breaker, and here it is a construction part which has the drain valve and operating mechanism controlled by a trip circuit. This is the operating rod and supporting chambers, and here we have two contact, moving contact and circuit breaking contact, breather, top chamber, and cross vent arc extension device, and this is your oil lever. So these are the present in minimum oil circuit breaker. So here when it is enclosed in the tank, that is arc interrupting of an insulating material with hole at a live potential of the system, that is called arcing chamber or interrupting pot. So two different types are present in this type of chamber: axial venting and radial venting. So here in axial venting, gases, mostly hydrogen, produced due to the vaporization of oil. Coming to the decomposition of oil during arc will sweep the arc in axial or longitudinal direction. So coming to the working or construction part. So two separate compartments with separated from each other, both are filled with the oil. The upper chamber, that is top, called a breaking chamber, while lower called a supporting chamber. So this is your upper chamber and this is your lower chamber or supporting chamber. So these are separated by the partition, and oil from both are prevented from the mixing with each other. So this type of arrangement having most best advantages, means requiring small amount of oil, and second is the amount of oil can be replaced as the oil in supporting chamber. So supporting chamber is a bottom chamber and mounted on a metal chamber filled with oil, separated from oil in circuit chamber. So the oil inside the supporting chamber between the procline insulation and backlised paper for insulation. Circuit breaking chamber, that is top, which is mounted on the top, also filled with oil and has upper and lower fixed contact, moving contact and turbulators. So here, and top chamber, it's a metallic chamber mounted on top of the circuit breaker. It provides expansion of space for the oil present in the circuit breaker and also containing a separator which avoids loss of oil by the centrifugal action. Coming to the operation of this circuit breaker, when it is in normal operating condition, the moving contact and fixed contact will be in a engaged position. During the abnormal condition, the moving contact will pull down the tripping springs. With the separation of contact, the arc will be stuck between them. So the energy in the arc will cause the vaporization, so that it will produce the gases at high pressure. So the process of the turbulation is the main section of the arc successfully quenched and separate the streams of oil moving across the each section. So this is what your minimum oil circuit breaker, and some advantage and disadvantages also there in this type. The thing is quantity of oil using in this. So quantity of the oil to be required as small, the space to be reduced, and risk of fire is reduced. So this is your advantage. Coming to disadvantages, due to smaller quantity of the oil, the carbonization or the degree of carbonization is increased. So the gases are difficult to remove the contact space in time. And finally, the dielectric strength of the oil deteriorates as the degree of carbonization is high. So these are some advantage and disadvantage of this type. Next is your oil circuit breaker. So here it is mainly designed for 11 to 76, and the main contact of the circuit breaker are separated in oil, and the bubbles of the gases are formed, which prevents the restriking of the arc after the current reaches the 0 point. So two different type of circuit breaker. One is using large quantity of oil or bulk oil circuit breaker, BOCB, so which is represented here. So here which is represented here, BOCB, or circuit breaker using large quantity of oil. And next one is, we saw this minimum oil circuit breaker, so which we saw in previous slide. So the contacts are immersed in oil bath, provides cooling by hydrogen created by arc. It acts as a good dielectric medium and quenching the arc. And also it is categorized: plain break oil circuit breaker, self-generated oil circuit breaker or self-blast oil circuit breaker, extremely generated oil circuit breaker or forced blast oil circuit breaker. So these are the two different types, and it is further classified: self-blast and forced blast. So this is the construction of oil circuit breaker. And here in this type, same two different chambers. One is lower chamber or supporting chamber, the other one is upper or top chamber, and circuit breaker chamber, breather, two different contacts. One is a moving contact, and this is my gas vent. Glass fiber is enclosed, and this is your supporting trip, right? And this is your operating rod, drain valve. So these are the parts obtained in oil circuit breaker. Coming to the type of plain break oil circuit breaker, it is a simple process of separating the contact under the oil in the tank, and it's a strong weather tight tank oil into the upper circuit level and air above the oil level. So both fixed and moving contact will be immersed in this oil. When contact are separated, an arc will be struck between the contacts with production of large amount of heat, so that it will increase the temperature about 5000 degree Kelvin, which will vaporize the oil into gases. So when distance between the fixed contact and moving contact reaching at a critical value, the arc gets extinguished at some current 0. So in this, it is subdivided into two types. One is single break oil circuit breaker. Single break oil circuit breaker. Number 2 is double break oil circuit breaker. Single break and double break oil circuit breaker. In single break oil circuit breaker, the in and out of the current is through the terminal bushing. There will be one arc which is struck between the fixed and moving contact. The current will breaks at one bushing, and the moving contact is supported by the other bushing through the sliding contact. So this is the single oil breaker, means two different, one is in and out of the current through the terminal bushing. One arc will be stuck between the fixed and moving contact. The current will break down at one, and moving contact is supported by the other bushing through the sliding contact. The next one is double breaking oil. So this are two fixed contacts associated with the terminal bushing, which makes the contact with the moving contact during the normal condition. So the lever containing the moving contact can operate with the help of crank. And when the contact are separated, the two arc will drawn two brakes in series. So this when fast moving contact speed. So due to this, there will be a unequal voltage distribution across the brake will be happen. One may take 70 to 80% of the interrupting duty. So when breaker, such a breaker, so here it is represented, when a breaker interrupts an earth fault, the recovery voltage will not divided into two breaks. Means we are going to consider the equivalent circuit which is presented here, where C1, so here it is C1, okay, so these two are C1, we are just explaining the equivalent circuit. C1 represents capacitance between the fixed and moving contact, where C2 represents capacitance between the moving contact and the earth. So if we represent the diagram here, see both the C1 are presented between the fixed contact and C2 is presented, M represents moving contact. So it is present between the moving contact and the earth. So this is your equivalent circuit diagram. Let us find the fault current. Okay, so from the equivalent circuit diagram, we are just representing V1 equal to I by omega C1 in terms of volt, and V2 will be 1 by omega C1 plus C2, and just dividing V1 and V2. Okay, so if I divided this, I will be getting C1 plus C2 by C1. So if just voltage across one gap is 83.4 of the system, so in order to equalize this voltage across the gap, high resistance or capacitance are connected. Okay, in order to equalize the voltage across the gap, high resistance or capacitance are connected. So for example, I am just assuming the value. So I am just assuming here I just given the capacitance range, C1 as 10 and C2 as 40 microfarad. Okay, so here this after substituting using the formula in previous slide. Okay, so C1 is represented by 10, C2 is represented by 40, C3 is represented by 50. Means capacitance are added, C1, C2, C3, and in numerator, so this will be C1 plus C2. Okay, the capacitance are connected across them because in order to equalize the voltage. So that's why, but our formula is V1 by V2 equal to C1 plus C2 by C1. This is your actual formula, but in order to equalize the voltage across the gap, I am going to connect the high resistance or capacitance across them. So if I am connecting only the capacitance, it will be added, C1, C2, C3, that will be added. Okay, so if the question will arise in denominator only C1, yes, C1 will be only the fixed contact. So here the capacitance are added and also in moving contact. So that's why C1 plus C2. So just applying the values. So I am getting 1.66 times that of V2. Okay, so V1 will be equal to 1.6 V2. Okay, if C3 is taken higher value, the difference between V1 and V2 will be reduced. Okay, and if the value of resistance instead of capacitance, damping will be achieved. So the resistance values are generally of order 10 to 100 kilo ohms. So this is what the value of resistance. to be selected, and it may be a non-linear. Next topic is a circuit breaker ratings. Okay, so a circuit breaker rating, mainly it's a mechanical switching device capable of making, carrying, breaking the current in normal conditions. So under normal, fault condition, the circuit breakers, so circuit breakers to perform some applications. So to provide the selectivity with the breaker, to provide facility for remote closing and tripping, to provide facility for interlocking, to provide indication. So these are some required to perform the additional functioning or demand, we can see. So suppose under fault condition we have to perform three different ways. One is it is to be capable of opening the fault circuit and breaking the fault current, and to be closed onto the fault. It must be capable of carrying the fault current for a short time, while another circuit breaker in series to clearing the fault. So these are some of the rating of circuit breaker, as we told already. Rated short circuit breaking current, short circuit making current, sequence, short time current, insulation level, peak withstand current. So we'll see elaborately in next slide. First is rated short circuit breaking current. So here, when the maximum short circuit current with which circuit breaker can withstand before it finally cleared by opening its contact. When short circuit current flows through the circuit breaker, there may be a thermal or mechanical strength in current carrying paths. So it is the RMS value of the highest short circuit current. So this type of rating is an RMS value of the highest short circuit current, which the circuit breaker is capable of breaking under the specified conditions. So the voltage appearing across the circuit breaker after arc quenching means TRV, transient recovery voltage. So the limit on breaking the current is specified by the condition of this TRV and power frequency, not power factor, power frequency recovery voltage. So this limit is determined by carrying the short circuit test. Means the breaking current can be expressed with the two values. Okay. One is IAC by root 2, and a percentage may be IDC into 100 divided by AC. Okay, so this is what the rating of short circuit breaking current. Coming to rated short circuit making current. So there is a difference of both. Okay, and here this short circuit making capacity of circuit breaker is expressed in peak value, not in RMS, like breaking capacity. So in previous we saw it is a RMS value. For making circuit it is in a peak value. Okay, so first current loop of the short circuit current, which is the circuit breaker capable of making at a rated voltage. So these are in certain cases circuit breaker may close when fault is existing. Under this, current reaches to the maximum value at a peak of first current loop. So it is able to close without any difficulty, and it will withstand the mechanical forces developed during the closure. So how to make the rating current means, so rated making current will be equal to 1.8 times into root 2 into rated short circuit breaking. So we are just considering the breaking, short circuit breaking. Okay, so if I multiply the constant terms, I will be getting 2.5 the rated breaking current. So how to make the current, how to make the rated making current means 2.5 into rated breaking current. So this is what the concept. So this root 2 converts the RMS to peak value, while factor 1.8 is considered for doubling effect of the short circuiting current. Next is short time current. So rated short time current may be defined with the RMS value of the current. So here it is preferred with some rated current 400, 630, 800. Okay. So here the rated current of a circuit breaker can be checked by carrying out the temperature rise test. So the current carrying along with the contacts are mainly based on the temperature rise. So this is mainly due to the temperature rise. Theta we can represent, for example. Okay. So this is what to easily identify and remember. So temperature rise, it is dependent on the conductivity of the material. Conductivity of the material will represent in sigma, right? So while designing high conductivity material, it must be decided. If the material is low, then the cross section of the conductor is increased. So this is what, how to rate the short time current. So it should be at least equal to the rated short circuit breaking of the current circuit breaker. And next is rated voltage. So here it is referred to the higher system voltage for which it is to be designed. Mainly it is expressed in kV and the value of RMS value. In case of 3-phase, if it is in 3-phase, but phase to phase voltage is to be there. Okay, phase circuit, it is in 3-phase circuit, phase to phase voltage. So a circuit breaker must assign 2 voltage rating corresponding to the maximum nominal system voltage, and other is maximum design voltage, which is indicated the maximum operating voltage, which should not to be exceeded. So one is your nominal voltage, maximum nominal voltage, and other one is designing voltage. So we have to remember the nominal and design voltage. So this is the term we have to remember. So when I am going to give the rating voltage of this type of circuit breaker, I have to represent only in kV, and we have to remember the two different voltage. One is maximum nominal voltage and maximum designing voltage in order to assign the voltage ratings. Okay. And next is your rated operating sequence. So here mechanical duty requirement or of a circuit breaker operating mechanism. So here the sequence is represented by the opening and closing operation, which can perform under the specified conditions. So rated operating sequence represents the sequence of indicating opening and closing operation. Okay, so which can perform under the specified conditions. So here which can perform in two different ways. One is operation of an opening. So this represents opening operation of a circuit breaker, and this represents closing operation time, CO, closing operation. This T represents, T dash represents time between two operation to restore the initial condition or to prevent heating of the conducting parts. Okay, so this is your representation. Coming to T, this represents 3 minutes for circuit breaker not to be used for the rapid auto reclosure. So it has 3 minutes. Okay, so this time represents 3 minutes for the circuit breaker not to be used for the rapid auto enclosure. Coming to T dash, okay, so this T dash 15 seconds for the circuit breaker, not to be used for the rapid auto closure. So this represents 15 seconds. So 15 seconds. So this is your rated operating sequence. So these are some of the ratings of circuit breaker, and discussed about the type of circuit breaker, vacuum circuit breaker and oil circuit breakers. Thank you.